Hello everyone, and the lesson of the day, antitrust. So you may or may not have heard the news this week that President Biden nominated big tech critic Jonathan Cantor to lead the antitrust division at the Department of Justice. And I am sure that you have heard about the hearings aimed to crack down on big tech. But why is seemingly half of Silicon Valley in the congressional hot seat all of a sudden? Well, that has to do with something called antitrust law. And if you have no idea what the that is, don't worry, I got you. Simply put, antitrust laws were designed to make sure that businesses are competing fairly. They're called antitrust because way back in the 1800s, businesses in a single industry, they would band together and form trusts. Now, by joining forces, trusts became monopolies because they were so big and powerful that they were able to control supply, set their own prices, and wipe out the competition. Great for business, bad for consumers, who ended up paying way more and then getting way less in return. So naturally, people were pissed and the government got involved. Take Standard Oil. From 1870 to 1911, John D. Rockefeller's empire created a trust that eventually controlled nearly the entire oil industry in the United States, from production, processing, marketing, and transportation. It could literally manipulate the market, lowering oil prices whenever an independent company tried to compete, and then raising them to recoup the losses. So the government filed suit under the Sherman Antitrust Act, and Standard Oil was eventually dissolved into 34 distinct companies. But to give a more recent example from a company I am sure you are all familiar with, let's take AT&T. Amongst the group of us watching this video alone, we probably have dozens, if not hundreds, of different service providers. But that wasn't always the case. AT&T monopolized the market in one way or another for nearly a century. If you wanted a telephone, landline in those days, you had little choice but to sign up with AT&T. But see, they were expensive. Long distance calls cost an arm and a leg, and the quality was crap because the company had no incentive to change and make it better. That all changed when AT&T Corporation was broken up in 1984. New companies like Sprint entered the game and competition and technology advanced. Although there is an argument to be made that the breakup actually delayed high-speed internet because there was no longer one single company that was controlling all of the phone lines. But anyway, this brings us to today. So eventually the internet came along and dropped a bomb on 150 years of antitrust law developments. For early internet tycoons, running their business was like operating in the wild, wild west. And in many ways, it still is today. Big tech got a pass for a long time because, well, we all love our smartphones and social media, and I don't know about you, but I would give my firstborn child over for my Amazon Prime membership. The point is that technology has made our lives so much better that it was easy to miss some pretty big things, like how Amazon prices out competitors, Apple bumps its own apps in the App Store, Google shows you what it wants you to see, Uber is literally a verb, and Facebook, well, let's just not go there. At the end of the day, these companies make trillions selling our data. We've learned the hard way that nothing is free. But we're so addicted to these products that it's impossible for most of us to imagine life without them. Government has been trying to use established antitrust law to rein in tech's behavior for a while now. Before Facebook and Google made it trendy, it was actually Microsoft that took the first antitrust blow in the 90s. But the Senate hearings made it pretty clear to anyone under like 40 that it's really hard to regulate something that you don't understand.
How do you sustain a business model in which users don't pay for your service?
Senator, we run ads.
Our framework for addressing anti-competitive behavior that hurts consumers needs to evolve for the digital age. And it's going to take some imagination and skill from lawmakers in order to make that happen. Regulation isn't anti-capitalist if it enables competition, an essential part of a healthy and a free market. So antitrust law is an incredibly complex topic, and I'm not going to pretend that I have all the answers, but at least I know that the next time antitrust pops up in your newsfeed, you're going to know what the that means.